Hey there YouTube, it's CassCuber here. Today I have a quick unboxing of a couple different vintage cubes as well as a modern speed cube. Without further ado, let's get right into the quick unboxing for today. Okay, so actually I'm going to be trying a little bit different format today. As you saw there, I did a quick little filmic sequence on opening this cube right here. I'll also be doing some on the further cubes coming here. And I guess I'm going to figure out how to splice those in. But without further ado, I guess this is the Yancheng Yan 3x3. So without further ado, let's get right into first turns. And actually, the first impression right out of the box, or at least this was actually a used cube, very minorly used. I got this from TC Cubes again. It was the end part of the other trade there. I just hadn't got this one in yet. And it's also the magnetic version, if I didn't mention that. But actually, first turns, wow, it's a little bit gummy right out of the box. But this thing turns really, really well. It has kind of a, I don't know exactly, but just kind of a gummy sound, if that makes any sense. But it just, all in all, turns very smoothly with just a little bit of that gummy feel. Actually, I really like that turning. If we go for corner cutting here, as you can see, it cuts about 60 degrees normal. And very, very close to line in reverse. It does have one little spot there, so it doesn't quite do like full corner cutting, but it's very, very close to that. I think with proper tensioning, like see there it go on the blue side, it does have full corner cutting. So far, initial impressions are very, very positive on this cube. This thing is really, really nice right out of the box. Definitely going to be doing some solves on this, and I'll be curious to see how this performs against some other top 3x3s, including the Goguan Yueshao Pro, Gan Air SM, and I also have a Volk 3 magnetic here somewhere. But those are my current kind of main cubes, and I think this one actually has a chance of competing with them. I really do like the turning on this thing right out of the box. I'm just going to have to see how it suits my turning style in the long run. All in all, so far, a very impressive cube. Next up here, I have some cubes that I picked up at various sources. First off, I have this Rubik's brand cube. This is actually one that got tucked away for the longest time. We actually picked this up a long time ago, and then it got tucked away in a box. Finally found it, and here it is. The only new in box, with little quotations there, Rubik's cube that I actually have. This one is brand new, but as you can see, it does not have the original shrink on it, so I'm not going to call it new, and also the tape there. But this one also has some interesting things about it. If we quickly get into the packaging here, I'll show you those. I got to be very careful so I don't actually rip the box. But first off, in the inside of this little thing, there's a little leaflet, which is actually, as you can see right there, the original Rubik's Cube puzzle leaflet from Ideal. That's actually really neat. I haven't had one of these before, and it's really cool to see it here. As you can see, this has instructions on how to solve the cube, or at least how to move it, as far as I can tell there. Preparing to tackle the Rubik's Cube. So that's actually really neat. Haven't had one of those before. And then if we get into the box further here, I'll show you the biggest and weirdest thing about this cube. Let's just set the packaging aside there. And also another interesting thing, I guess quickly. So on the box there, there's an assembled in Haiti sticker just kind of randomly stuck on there. I'm not sure if that's from this or from something else, but it seems to be from this. And if we go back to the cube here, you'll notice one thing right away that's really odd with this cube. I did post about this on my Instagram. Go follow me there if you haven't. Quick little plug. But also, first turns, it does turn about like a normal Rubik's Cube. One interesting thing about Rubik's brand cubes is they didn't always turn quite as bad as the modern ones do straight out of the box. The original ones, and actually my dad can attest to this, he picked his out of the box and said it actually turned pretty smooth straight out of the box. And taking this one here for first turns, I can definitely say that that's true, actually. This turns a lot better than a lot of the newer stickered or Rubik's 2.0 cubes straight out of the box. I'm not exactly sure why that is. I guess the tensions might be just a little bit looser. But as you can see, it turns a little bit better. Still no corner cutting, at least on that side. I think I have one of these sides here. Yeah, orange is the loosest side. It will corner cut a little bit on that. But all in all, it does seem to turn a little bit better than most out-of-the-box Rubik's. But this is not the weird thing about this cube. First of all, if you notice, this is not the Japanese color scheme. It has white opposite yellow instead of white opposite blue, so it is a little bit later in the run. And that may actually be what could be to blame for this strange issue. If you're seeing the B-roll, or if you can see it right now, this cube has the wrong color scheme, at least for the normal color scheme here. Red and orange are next to each other, and green and blue are next to each other, and obviously that is not correct. Usually red would be opposite orange, and green would be opposite blue. So I'm not sure. It seems like a factory error, as this does seem like a brand new Rubik's Cube. It does seem like an authentic Rubik's Cube, and the stickers do not seem to have been peeled or anything else. It's too bad it's not sealed and shrink like that, but I think it's a really interesting error Rubik's Cube, and it's definitely staying in my collection. Just kind of a funky thing there, and I'm assuming that has to do with the switching from the Japanese color scheme to the normal color scheme. I don't know. It's only a theory at this point. Okay, so next up, this is from a thrift store locally. This cube here was about $1 from a thrift store, and this has a couple of interesting things also. First of all, if you can see any of the B-roll or this camera here, this says N-E-G-U, Negu, Negu, Negu. It also has a color scheme. Yellow, blue, light blue, white opposite black, blue opposite blue. So it does have some sort of a color scheme. And it also, inside each of the letters, says, never ever give up. So I'm not really sure what this cube is for or anything, but as you can see, it is a 2x2. And another interesting thing about this 2x2 is that it is oversized. This is a 60 millimeter 2x2 compared to the normal 50 millimeters. And that makes it really interesting. If I put it next to normal 3x3, you can see that it dwarfs a 3x3. And the turning on it, let's just give that a quick try here. It is not super great. It is a non-tensionable mechanism, at least as far as I can tell. And it does not turn super well, but with a little bit of break-in / lubrication, I actually think it could turn fairly well. I mean, it's fairly smooth and quick. When it's aligned correctly, it just catches all the time. So I'm not sure if I'm actually going to re-sticker this in a normal scheme, or if I'm just going to keep the negative scheme. But let's quickly scramble this up, and like I said, this also has a couple other interesting things. You can actually solve it a lot easier than most picture or letter cubes because it does have that color scheme. So it actually is not that hard to solve. So I think that's a sufficient scramble. Let's just quickly solve on the black side there. And let's see here, just looking for a black and blue piece. Black and light blue can go right here. Then insert that, so that's our bottom layer. And then let's see, I believe white is on top. So I have an anti-soon right there. And there we go. And our final thing here, I'll just do like a J-perm here. And that should solve it. There you go. But anyway, that's kind of an interesting pickup. The reason I picked it up is because of the odd size, and I just kind of like weird picture cubes like that. Next up here, we have a made in China OrientalTrading.com cube. I've seen a lot of these around. For some reason, they're fairly common, but this has love on one side, peace sign, what is that thing called? I don't remember. The yin and yang, flower, mushroom, smile. I don't know. It's some sort of weird, almost like, what do you call that exactly? Psychedelic cube, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, this thing turns really, really good, man. I mean, yeah, the turning on this thing's pretty horrible. I mean, it's like a dollar store mechanism. It actually turns a little bit better than some other dollar store cubes I've had, but I don't know. It's interesting. Probably just for the collection rather than speed solving. Next up here, we have a mini snake. I was going to say Rubik's mini snake, but I actually don't know what brand this mini snake is. But I'm sure all of you have seen these. They fold out into a line. I'm not going to do that right now. I'd rather just leave it in the ball shape like it is right there. Okay, so I guess that's about it for this quick unboxing today. I think I was just going to do a quick solve on the Yan 3 since I didn't do that before. And then I think I'll end the video for today. Let's just give this thing a quick hand scramble and let's get right into it. Like I was saying, I mean, this thing also, I guess I can compare the weight a little bit. It's just a tad bit heavier than like a Gan Air SM. But it's very, very light compared to other cubes on the market, like the Goguan Yueshao Pro. It really is quite a light cube. It just feels very, I don't know, light, airy. I do like that feel. It's not exactly my favorite. I do also prefer like the heavier, kind of more solid cubes, but I'm getting to like the lighter ones, kind of like the Gan Air and all that. But I think this will really suit somebody with a really light, airy turning style. The magnets are not crazy strong. I think these are the factory magnets. But they are definitely noticeable in turns. So I think with like that light, airy turning style, it suits it very well. Okay, that's that J-perm. I've been learning full PLL, so now I sort of know that. But there's a quick solve on the Yan 3. and my first impressions, I really do like this cube, and I think this is going to be a really good competitor for my main as of right now, just because of the turning and everything. I have heard other people say good things about it, and it really does live up to that. It really is a nice cube. I also like the shades on it there. It has kind of a lighter blue than like the Goguan, which has like a really dark blue. Let's compare the shades here quickly. Dark blue to a lighter blue, and it has a little bit different orange, that, and a little bit different red. I'd say it's more like a floral orange. Is that what that would be called? But either way, that's about all I have for this quick unboxing today. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know how you like the cinematic shots in the comments below. That wasn't how you pronounce cinematic. But anyway, let me know that. And also check out my Instagram. I'll put a little link on the screen there, or at least an @ thing. And I also have a Snupps account where I kind of catalog my collection and all that. That's about it for social media. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for more in the future. KS Cuber out. Goodbye.